Okay. Let's adjust some stuff. Hello. Good evening. And welcome back to the Sunday Scaries. Sadly, this time, at present, without Hanapengu, but we will still be resuming Scarlet Hollow. Give me a moment to bring up the capture for it. This is the first time I've done it solo on this computer. If I can find it. Here we go. Scarlet Hollow capture. Everything should be coming through okay. Put that down slightly so it doesn't get in the way of the chat, such as there is. Alright, hopefully audio is looking good. Captions are picking me up at least. I hope. Okay. Let us look into where we left off. April 6th, 1855, Monday chapter end. This is the end of episode 1. Episode 2 awaits. This is where we left off. Hello, Leah. So lovely to see you in the chat. Okay. We continue now. And I think this gives us the day recap. Yeah, recap of episode 1 before we start episode 2. Yes, please. Very convenient for exactly this purpose. The funeral of Pearl Ann Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. 1 second, folks. There's one more audience member who wanted to come in. Isn't that right, Mona? Oh, she's just going to hang out on the vent. Hang on. I will provide image of this. That cryptid you see there is a little gray tuxedo. Okay. Anyway. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. Afraid! Wait a minute, you must be... Oh my god, wait, I heard somebody at school talking about how the long-lost Scarlet Heir was coming back to town this week for, you know, the funeral. That must be them. The country ambiance clashes terribly with the goth woman behind the counter who has been eyeing you with something between curiosity and dawning horror. Oh my god. She was clearly trying to say it quietly, but, of course, you heard her. You're the only 2 people here. And then it emerges, an honest-to-goodness mountain lion, and there is something horribly wrong with it. A blood that runs and runs becomes itself nothing. It doesn't bother trying to hide now, leaping down into the clearing with killing intent in its wide yellow eyes, ready to finish what it started, and then... Damn, nearly had the thing. Wait, a run-in? What kind of run-in? Was it supernatural? Like I said, you wouldn't believe it. Now put that dang camera away. At least it's a nice night, even if the circumstances leave some to be desired. Help yourself to some jerky, and as for the beer, I was planning on shotgunning both cans myself. But I supposed I could be convinced to spare one. Duke grapples with the thing as it grabs at his shotgun, pushing the barrel out of the way as it grasps for Birdie with oddly jointed limbs, while Stella stares in shocked silence, as if paused, watching as the other creature attempts to wrestle Gretchen into the darkness, her desperate cries going unheeded. It barely staggers back, the shove having done little more than shift the thing's attention to you. It rears back on its hind legs, its mouth opening, whispered tones sliding out alongside something sharp and unnatural. Gretchen! You both turn just in time to see the end of Gretchen's leash disappearing into the underbrush. Her yelps grow distant as she is dragged away. Your cousin reaches for the headlights. Charlie.
Alright, give me a sec, I will...
Welcome home. The figure steps out of the light, disappearing back into the darkness of the woods. From the relative safety of your cousin's uncomfortable guest bed, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else, though you can still clearly picture the terror you felt in those moments. For now, you are safe, and you are warm. Tuesday morning awaits. I've played so much Slay the Princess in between Scarlet Hollow and first time in Scarlet Hollow this time, that every time it cuts to black, I keep wanting to be like, everything goes dark, and you die. Wake up. You open your eyes. The sun has risen, the birds are singing. You are still alive, and for now, you are safe. Your gaze wanders across the room to the window and the woods beyond. You wonder if the monsters are lurking there, right now, just beyond the trees, ready to pounce as soon as you leave the crumbling estate. A familiar unease settles into your gut, tangling into a knot of anxiety, wriggling as the events of last night play out in your head. For reasons I can't figure out, the chat isn't coming up at the top of the window, but it's fine. I can still see it. Anyway. You can't help but remember the sight of pale faces jeering at you as they carried Gretchen's poor little body into the underbrush. You're not sure if you'll ever feel okay again after what you've seen, but you can't stay in bed forever. Hunger pulls you from the clammy depths of the mattress. Note, you can refresh yourself on the events of the previous days by using the journal icon in the quick menu. Let's check on Dustin. You open the drawers to check on Dustin. Oh good, he's still here. Human is back. Good morning, Dustin. How are you today? Dustin, feel good. Had productive night. I see you have a bread now. Yes, Dustin found our bread. Dustin also ate a bug last night. Good night for Dustin. Have you met Frou Frou, Dustin? Monster. Can I talk to you about something horrible that happened last night? Human can always talk to Dustin. What happened? The woods are full of big monsters and they killed my friend's dog. When Dustin gets scared, Dustin pretend to be dead. Maybe if you pretend to be dead, monsters leave you alone. Oh, buddy, no. Got my clothes now? These Dustin clothes now. No give back. Dustin bite if tried to take. What if I ask nicely, though? Dustin bite. Dustin have big teeth. Right? Dustin is wonderful. Dustin is baby. Back off. They're not worth it. You back off before the little opossum can follow through on his threat. You aren't in the mood to catch whatever weird disease possums in North Carolina might carry. Good, Dustin not want bite, but Dustin will bite. It's nice to catch up, Dustin. I'll see you around. Okay. You gently close the drawer. Oh, let's see if the closet... Okay, here's the test. Is the creepy doll in the same place in the closet as before? Great, the doll didn't move during the night. Maybe it isn't haunted after all. Though after everything you went through yesterday, that's hardly consolation. Return to your room. You turn back to the rest of the room. What can we see out the window? You creep toward the window, careful not to be seen by whatever might be lurking in the garden. For a second, you thought you saw movement. It could have been an animal. It could have been something else. Whatever it was, it's gone now. Leave the window. Maybe you'll head out there and investigate after you've finished waking up. Get dressed and head down to the kitchen. Time to start your day. You're back in the kitchen. Frou Frou eyes you from her favorite spot on the counter. Her pupils dilate and her tail twitches. I see you are still here. How unfortunate. I'm not going to try to pet Frou Frou. I know better. Have you noticed anything weird around here? We ran into these horrible looking things in the woods last night and... Silence! Do you know what time it is? Quiet your awful little mouse. Your voice is the only audible thing I have witnessed of late. Sure, let's tell her Gretchen died last night. Gretchen died last night. Oh. I just thought you'd want to know. Le Cerbère est mort. Est mort. Good riddance. Hey. Oh, sorry, that was supposed to be hey. There we go. You sure took your time getting up. I had a really rough night. Can you cut me some slack? No. It's not my fault that you got lost in the woods, and I'm late enough as it is, so listen up. I don't want any repeats of last night. From now on, no running around in the woods after dark. It's dangerous out there. You could fall down a cliff, you can get stuck in a hidden cave somewhere, you can get lost in the woods and never be found. Just because nothing happens here doesn't mean it's safe. I want you home by sunset from here on out. I did try getting home by sunset. I just happened to have been attacked by a mountain lion. Then get home before sunset. Aren't you the boss? How can you be late? How can you be late to work if you own the mines? Just because I own the mines doesn't mean I don't have responsibilities. If I'm late or if I don't show up, then things aren't done right. Hey, what's up with you and Stella? We just have a history, that's all. I don't need to explain myself to you. Sorry about last night. I didn't know what was going to happen, and I didn't think I'd worry you like that. Good. Glad we're on the same page. I'm late enough as it is. I'm going to work, and I expect to see you here at sunset. Tabitha takes a few steps toward the door. Sunset. Your cousin huffily exits the kitchen. Her footsteps fade down the hall, ending in the characteristic creak and then slam of the front door as it opens and closes behind her. Once again, you are the only human in the estate. It seems you make a bit of bad first impressions, no? The cat chuckles mockingly. A text from Stella. Hey, hope you're holding up okay, or good as you can with all the stuff we saw last night. I was up most of the night on cryptid forums. No real answers yet. I'm at the library now if you want to join. I have scones.
Alright, we can do that. Yes, because for this
Scones? Heck yeah, say no more. And that's it. Time to start your day. Let's quickly investigate the garden. As your eyes wander to the garden door, you shudder, remembering in the brief glimpse of something you saw from your upstairs window. It was probably just a raccoon, but the uncertainty of what you saw gnaws at you and compels you to investigate, if only to prove that it was nothing. It gnaws at you the way a raccoon gnaws through garbage. Anyway, at the very least, you don't see anything now. Investigate further. You wander further into the garden, trying to pinpoint the spot where that thing had been lurking, if indeed there had been a thing to begin with. The garden is peaceful, but undeniably eerie. Here, more than anywhere else, you're surrounded by the ghost of what this place used to be. It looks like this. It's actually a good... Nice. Okay. A greenhouse sits in the midst of the overwhelming greenery, unreachable from years of neglect, its glass clouded and cracked. Statues reach out from within seas of weeds as if begging to be rescued. And, most strikingly, behind a pair of rusted metal gates, at the very peak of the mountain, sits a graveyard. You can just make out a few of the headstones, the scarlet name carved deep and proud into their faces. You notice what a good view someone would have of your window if they stood where you're standing right now. Check the grounds for clues. You crouch down, pushing aside the greenery to examine the soft earth. A boot print, a big boot print, and what looks like some kind of viscera. That's what that looks like to me. Your thoughts turn to the specter from the night before. You snap a quick photo just in case it comes in handy later. With that, you head back inside. Time to figure out what to do with the rest of your day. Make that PB&J. Sure, Stella might have scones in the library, but scones are later. PB&J is now. You quickly scrape together the ingredients and gobble up a delicious breakfast. And that's that. Let's go to town. Tabitha isn't here to stop you now. You head outside, back to the mountain path that leads to town. The walk back to town is much less pleasant today than it was yesterday, when you didn't yet know that the woods were full of monsters and strange men who know your name. Do we see any on our... No, it's too early. You stare anxiously into the darkness between the trees, searching for any signs of movement, but the woods are still, at least for now. The autumn-tinged mountains, sprawling for miles in every direction, now feel less like beautiful scenery and more like the walls of a cage. Your phone buzzes in your pocket. Look who I found at the library. Says she was up all night thinking about the video. Adding you to a group text. I'm only here because it's quieter than the store, or was, lol, and I'm trying to figure out what animal that could be. I don't buy into this harbinger of doom stuff. We know what animals they are. They're ditchlings, and they are harbingers of doom. Sorry, 1 second. The buzzing of the phone is reminding me that I need to check my watch. Because I had it on the charger all day, and I don't know if it actually charged. I miss my Pebble watch. It was the only good smartwatch. Anyway. please. Oh, it's dead, Jim. Hang on. Sounds like they're having fun. Okay, it seems to be charging now, which is good, because I use that for my morning alarm. Anyway, excuse me, what are ditchlings? You're almost back to town. Continue down the path. You make it to town in one piece. No creatures jumped out at you, and no scary men blocked your path. The sight of other people is comforting, helping you to forget the things you've witnessed, as if they happened to someone else. Hey, you're Tabitha's cousin, right? Man, the resemblance really is uncanny. The name's Avery. I work over at the diner. Oh, I gotta break out my grandma voice, which is just my Bane voice.
And I'm Sybil. I run the tea house. I believe you met my daughter Kanika yesterday, and my daughter's friend Stella, for that matter. You've really been getting around.
You wouldn't happen to know what's up with her, would you? She mentioned something about you in the woods last night, but she was real cagey about it. Did something happen out there? She barely even waved when she walked by. And Gretchen wasn't with her. They're never apart. If Stella didn't say anything, it's probably not my place to share. Okay, I guess that's fair. I hope everything's okay. Tell you what, I'm on break for the next half hour. Why don't you swing by the diner if you want to decompress? When you can fix you up some of Sybil's new blend. Maybe it'll calm you down a bit.
I think you'll like today's mix. It's chaga and lemon balm. Should help ease your stress and tension.
And if you feel like talking, I'll be all ears. But no pressure. Ugh. Hair is not cooperating. Anyways, it's up to you. See you around, Charlie. See you, Sybil.
Take care now, Avery. I see you're a private person. I can respect that. You never know how someone might respond to hearing the truth of what you encountered last night. I'd better get back to it myself. But actually, before I go, a word. Stella came by my tea room last night. She told me about what you saw out there in the woods, and she showed me her footage, too. I know what you two went through, and I know what you saw. Those things are real, and neither of you imagined them, and they're certainly no ordinary creatures.
Can I do this with one hand? Let me find out.
My grandmother called them ditchlings, and they're a terrible omen, a sign of great suffering and destruction to come. I've told Stella and my daughter what I know, though I'm afraid that's not much.
I've never heard of ditchlings, and I feel like I know a lot about folk tales. I even know about that one ghost in Mississippi who will drag race you if you drive to a certain spot in the woods and turn your lights off and knock on your roof 3 times.
Not everything is recorded in writing. Sometimes things you've got to hear about from folks who have seen them firsthand. And when you get to be as old as I am, you hear a lot of things. You know, you should count yourself lucky. There aren't many people who have seen a ditchling and lived to tell about it. Or so they say.
What kind of destruction are we talking about here? Okay, let me try it without doing the thing over my face.
If you'd seen just one or two, I'd say it could be a bridge collapse, a bad accident, something tragic but not devastating. But this many multiplying like they are, I couldn't tell you.
So they're dangerous. Are they going to start attacking people?
I think you misunderstood me. They're not dangerous on their own. Think of them more like birds flocking before a storm.
I mean, you say that, but they seem pretty dangerous.
They're neither a threat on their own nor the cause of what's to come, merely a sign that things are not as they should be.
I mean, we've seen what they've done to the animals. Anyway. If something bad is coming, we need to get people out of here.
Leave and go where? These people's whole lives are in this town. Their homes, their histories, their families. Most of them don't have the kind of money it would take to start anew somewhere else. You can try to convince them, but I think you'll find it a difficult task.
What can we do about stopping what's coming then?
I'm afraid I don't have any good answers to that, but Stella and Kanika are doing their best to get to the bottom of this. Aside from that, I suppose the best we all can do is stay close to our loved ones. I'd say that would mean Tabitha should try to spend some time with her only living relative while she can, but I get the feeling she cares a little too much about her work to let herself leave it for that long. You could always go to her. Maybe that would bring her a little joy, even if she might struggle to admit as much.
So there was this man on the way home last night. I don't know if it's something you know about, but when Tabitha and I were on our way home, there was this guy in the road. It was dark, but he had a miner's jacket on, and he knew my name. There was something off about him.
Oh yes, that would be Wayne, probably. He's a bit of an addled local. You don't have to worry about him. He's harmless, just very sick. But do let me know if he bothers you again, dearie.
No offense, but that sounds a bit far-fetched. It's like you're saying this is magic or something.
No offense. Oh, sorry, wrong character. Here we go. I appreciate your skepticism. It's a little like talking to my daughter. But believe me when I say, I'd gladly welcome any other explanation. Unfortunately, I struggle to find one. I'm so sorry to cut our conversation short, but I've got other things that need attending to. Stay safe, Charlie, and God bless.
You probably have a little bit of time before you're needed at the library. Could go to the diner and meet the folks there. Could go to the general store and meet the teen guy there. While I take a moment to drink some water, I shall poll the audience. Cast your vote in chat whether we have a nice social conversation at the diner with Avery, or whether we go to the general store and meet some of the teens that we have not yet met. Vote is in for the diner, and so we go. You head toward the diner. The diner's a little quiet, but the air is still heavy with the tantalizing smell of breakfast. Oh, hi, Mary Sushi. So we have 2 votes for Avery. Very good. Warn patrons of the danger. I feel like that may not go so well, so let's just talk to Avery. You slide into the booth across from Avery. Hey there, stranger. Before you can exchange words, Winnie sidles up, a fresh mug of tea in hand. Oh, actually, at least one person in the audience I know would get this reference. Avery looks to me like a more genderqueer version of Noser from The Middleman. Anyway. Heard you might need this. My condolences, by the way. Welcome to the Holler. Do let us know if you need anything this week. The answer to 29 down is oink, by the way. What? But the clue is pen sound. How is that a sound a pen makes? Yes, indeed, a middleman. Wait, pen like pig pen? Are you kidding me? How was I supposed to guess that? I don't know why you even bother with those things. They're just gonna frustrate you. It's just something to do to fill the time, but maybe I should switch to Sudoku. Winnie leaves Avery contemplating daily newspaper puzzles, returning to her seat behind the counter. So, I know you said it wasn't your place to talk about last night, but if you happen to change your mind... what if you don't... Okay, hang on. I can tell you about last night, but what if you don't believe me? I'm not here to judge, I'm here to listen. You share everything. Glad to have someone to talk about the horrors that you've witnessed. Wow, that is some heavy stuff. No wonder Stella seemed distant. I can't believe Gretchen is really gone. It seemed like that dog was going to live forever. And monsters in the woods. I may not have lived here long, but I've never heard of anything like that happening around these parts. How exciting. Do you regret moving here? I don't think I have the choice to have second thoughts. I'm not going anywhere without Aunt Winnie, and there's no way she's leaving this place. I didn't peg you as a transplant. Where are you from? I moved here from Charlotte, gosh, 3 years ago now? Maybe a little more? I've lost track. Aunt Winnie offered me a place to stay and a job, and who was I to pass on that sort of generosity? To be honest, it still feels like I just moved in. Practically everyone apart from the Cole folks grew up in this town, so it's like I'm the perpetual new kid. 1 second, folks. Mona had her fill of sitting on the vent and wanted to leave. Okay. Don't get me wrong, folks here are plenty polite and friendly, but there's a shared history I'll never be a part of. Why'd you leave Charlotte? If you don't mind my asking. That's cool. I was having some issues with my folks about my education, which wasn't great, especially since I was still stuck under their roof. When my aunt heard about it, she offered me a job and a place to stay, and the rest is history. I mean, I get that feeling. I felt out of place the whole time I've been here. Folks on the whole have been plenty friendly, but life here is so different than what I'm used to. It's hard to explain, but I just don't feel like I belong. Exactly. There are worse ways to be, but I'm not sure I'll ever entirely feel like I belong here. I mean, let me know if you happen across any leads. We're on the case, but I hardly know where to start. Definitely. It looks like my shift is starting. Hope you're doing a bit better. The diner's where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what goes on around here. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters or anything else strange or unusual. Avery slips out of the booth, giving a friendly half-wave before disappearing into the back. You leave the diner ready to continue your day. Oh, we can do both, apparently. Interesting. A young man sits at the table by the register, too preoccupied with his phone to care that you stepped in. Hi, I'm Charlie. I just got to town yesterday. Yeah, I know. Mom told me. Hey, do you know how to get to the mines? Maps are free. You take a map of the town. The mines are a couple of miles away, but you now have the power to visit your cousin of your own free will. What's your name? Miles. What you doing on your phone there, Miles? Games. You probably haven't heard of them. Playing this one. It's called Slay the Princess. It's pretty weird. Let's see here. You should try to leave town. There's a monster. There's monsters in these woods. You've been talking to my mom too much. See you, Miles. Miles doesn't respond as you turn and leave the general store. Youth. Ah, you can in fact ditch on the library and just go see Tabitha at the mines. That's something to do on a different run. Anyway, you enter the former town hall. It's quieter today, distinctly missing the presence of yesterday's 3 teenage girls. Oh, hey, you made it! Ha ha ha. Shush Stella and pointed all the book kiosks before heading over to her table. Quiet! This is a library! Hey again, Stella filled me in about last night. You look tired. It's hard to fall asleep last night, all things considered. I can't say I got a wink myself. Yeah, same. Anyways, I guess we should get started. Before you dig in, remember the boot print you found? So you remember the boot print you found in the garden. Hey, before we dig in, I found something in the garden this morning. You hold up your phone and show Kanika and Stella the photo you took in the garden. These prints were in the bushes with a clear line of sight to my window. Dang, that's creepy. You okay? What is the liquid around it? It looks like pus. So the opossum that lives in my dresser says that 2 people live at the estate. I'm not, a wackadoo, I swear. I thought he might not have realized that Perlan died, but I'm wondering if this is who he was talking about. Kanika and Stella silently glance at each other. I like that one. That one's funny. But we will go with the sooner you two realize I can talk to animals, the faster we'll be able to solve this mystery. I might as well give you the benefit of the doubt. You've said some pretty uncanny stuff, and it wouldn't be any stranger than what we saw in the woods last night. If this is going to be a recurring bit, I might as well play along. Some creep in a bloody mining uniform scared the shit out of me and Tabitha last night. I think it's him. Boots are too big to be Tabitha's. Hang on. 1 second. Can't say I'm thrilled at the thought of someone watching my room. I don't know if there's a connection, but I felt it's worth bringing up. Aha! Guess what, everybody? I have captured a cat. But only briefly. Okay. can't stop thinking about those splatters on the ground. If whoever left those prints is sick, maybe it's from the creatures you encountered. Ah, hey there, strangers. Hey, Oscar, this is Charlie, Tabitha's cousin. I have actually already had the pleasure. We had an excellent conversation yesterday, though. I think it might have gotten a bit heavy for my daughter. Though, speaking of Rosalina, none of you have happened to see her around town this morning, have you? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there. You know the crowd she hangs out with. They're good kids at heart. I'm sure they're just up at the old Maxwell place doing teen stuff. I went up there plenty of times in my day, but I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled. What is the old Maxwell place? It's this great old abandoned spot, and it's practically a magnet for young people. Even honor students aren't free from its call. I can't believe I used to be so reckless. The floors there were like Swiss cheese. I should really have a talk with Rosalina when she gets home. I'm sure she's fine. You might not want to let her run off like that anymore, though. It's not as safe as it usually is around here. Is that so? Kanika's right. There's some weird stuff going on out in these woods. And that's actually why we came in today. Have you ever heard of a creature called a ditchling? Apparently they show up around places on the brink of disaster, and they kind of look like if the Pillsbury Doughboy was a creepypasta. Kanika's mom told us about him last night after seeing some of the footage we got in the woods. Ditchlings? Doesn't ring a bell. Dang, worth a shot. Okay, if you were, say, trying to predict a horrible disaster that might befall our town, where would you start looking? I would ask the Mothman. Well, they say history repeats itself, or at least that it rhymes, so I'd probably try and figure out what sort of disasters this region typically falls prey to. Should I be worried about something? I don't know yet. I'll be right back. Gonna go grab some more books. I'm pretty sure Stella's barking up the wrong tree, Oscar. I say, Oscar. Here we go. I don't think you have to worry about any horrible calamity befalling this town. But she's right about the weird stuff. There's definitely something unusual going on out in those woods. Yeah, whatever is out there in the woods has been brutalizing local wildlife. I don't think it's safe. I'm going to try calling Rosalina again. I'm sure she's fine, really. Rosalina's a smart kid. She knows better than to go around and getting into trouble, and we'll make sure to keep her eyes peeled. I just want to take a second to call out the excellent cell phone case that Oscar is rocking on his smartphone right now. It is stylized to look like a vintage library card, and that's wonderful. Well, if any of you run into her, would you let her know her dad is worried? Oscar anxiously wanders off, phone in hand. Got him. Just grabbed a whole mess of local history books. Stella sets a massive pile of books on the table and pulls up a chair. Alright, this is going to be so much faster with the two of you here to help out. Got our snacks, got our books. Let's get this research party started. Reading awaits. Quite a few, huh? And an extra one for book smarts. Historical buildings of Scarlet Hollow. Just the thought of reading a book like this would probably put most people to sleep. But you've got a mystery to solve, and to solve it, you need to know everything there is to know about this town. Oh. You back, Mona? Even she doesn't know the answer to that question. Anyway. I'll do as many of these as I don't remember. The Scarlet Estate itself. Inarguably the most striking piece of architecture in Scarlet Hollow. And the most elaborate and elegant estate in the region prior to the construction of the Biltmore in 1895. Interesting. The Biltmore is post-Civil War. I had no idea. Andrew Jackson Scarlett chose the location to be atop a hill in Scarlet Hollow's geographic center so that it might be seen from the town below. It remains a constant reminder of the family who carved Scarlet Hollow from the wilderness and provided wealth and prosperity to its residents, but mostly to itself. The Hiram Scarlett Memorial Hospital. Wait a second. I know that visage. I didn't remember seeing it before, but I don't like its vibes now. Anyway. First used as a field hospital during the Civil War, it was named for Silas Scarlett's eldest son, who perished in the bloody conflict. It still stands at the end of what is now the residential district of Scarlet Hollow, and has served the health of community for over 100 years. Cube versus Dustin? Oh, I don't like Dustin's odds. Cube versus most, I don't like their odds. And then again, I guess any individual Cube is relatively easy to dispatch, but that's another matter. In the late 1800s, as the town prospered from a coal boom, additions were built onto the house, and it was transformed into a sanatorium, bringing in prestigious clientele from around the world. They believed the fresh mountain air would do them well, and Scarlet Hollow became a tourist destination for patients of all afflictions. The clinic still operates to this day as a doctor's office and stands as a building of cultural significance. The mine itself. The original mining facility is no longer standing, having been destroyed in the collapse of 1918. Though the new facility, outfitted with all of the cutting-edge technologies of the industry, is in itself a fine example of practical construction, the first iteration of the mining camp was a true product of its time, and what few photographs exist are an interesting peek back at a different era. One can still visit the site of the original Scarlet coal mine, though all that remains are a few abandoned tunnels closed off to the public. Who would be stupid enough to try and drink there? Situated on the edge of Scarlet Hollow's farmlands, the Tremaine homestead was one of the earliest settlements in Scarlet Hollow, predating even the town's famous coal mines. For many decades, the Tremaine family maintained the largest farm in Scarlet Hollow, but a break in the family led them to split the land in two, and the homestead along with it. Despite the many changes made to the two halves of the Tremaine homestead in the subsequent decades, the original log structures are still visible and maintained to this day. They are undoubtedly the oldest buildings left standing in Scarlet Hollow. One of the first buildings constructed by the Scarlet family, the Scarlet Hollow's First Baptist Church still sits on its original foundation, though the building was reconstructed to accommodate the influx of citizens in the Scarlet Hollow coal boom of the late 1800s. It's amazing I know how many of these locations are going to be the seat of some real scary stuff. Anyway, attendance had dwindled since the infamous mine collapse of 1918, and while the building may have fallen into disrepair, its simple vaulted ceilings still evoke awe to any who enter. The Town Hall, where we are now. Silas Scarlett personally funded the Town Hall's construction as the first municipal building in the then small community of Scarlet Hollow. It has stood at the end of Main Street since before the Civil War. It's a white-columned edifice withstanding the ravages of the 1860s and continuing to stand to this day, a stunning piece of antebellum architecture. The ravages of the 1860s, that's a way to say General Sherman's men. After the town of Scarlet Hollow switched to a dog mayor system of governance in the 1920s, more on that later, the building has been put to different use, though the upstairs still house the town archives and a special ceremonial office for events with the mayor. So the mayor of Scarlet Hollow is a dog. Yes, you read that right. You're done here. You close the book and put it back. Veins of Scarlet, a history of the Scarlet Hollow coal mines. Forced into retirement at age 50 due to a war injury from his time in the Indian Wars, exacerbated by his short stint serving as a captain in the Confederacy, Silas Scarlet also lost his eldest two sons to that bloodiest of wars, leaving his third eldest son, Andrew Jackson Scarlet, to take charge of the mine. Indeed, sorry, I'm catching up, Leah. More puppies in politics couldn't be worse. Indeed, very true. We will see more about the dog mayor later. Though even then, there's gone to the dogs, and then there's gone to the worst dogs, and mayoralty seems to have gone to the worst dogs. But under his leadership, the mine prospered, undoubtedly in part due to the growth of the railroad industry. He had managed to evade the coal union for decades, making them one of the most profitable mines in the country. Andrew Scarlet built the surrounding town into what it is today, with expensive stone buildings, a bustling main street, and overseeing it all, the elegant Scarlet estate that was, until 1895, the largest and finest feat of architecture in the region. Culminating in the tragic collapse of 1918, it was found that Charles Shaw, the co-manager of the mine, had loosened security measures to increase production during World War I, resulting in a fatal collapse and the deaths of over 160 men and boys, some as young as age 10. Remember that name, Charles Shaw. And not just because of the wine, but anyway. The casualties included Andrew Jackson Scarlet's son, Theodore, his brother Enoch V. Scarlet, who had taken over for their aging father during the bustle of the war, managed to pull the mine from the state of ruin, thereby saving the town. So this is how your family made its fortune. Alright, Silas Scarlet, soldier, woodsman, leader. Silas Everett Scarlet was born to Colonel Everett J. Scarlet in 1818, one of 12 siblings. Wow. He grew up in eastern North Carolina during a tumultuous time in the state's history, and not much is known about his life until he joined the Army in 1836. He quickly rose through the ranks, in part due to his father's connections, but also due to a particular ruthlessness, for which he received the name Bloody Silas Scarlet. Not to be confused with Bloody Andrew Jackson, not to be confused with Andrew Jackson Scarlet. Anyway. The federal government granted the now Captain Silas a tract of bounty land in exchange for his service in the Indian War, and he settled into the hills of North Carolina in 1841. That land would become Scarlet Hollow. But it started as a simple log cabin built by Silas's own two hands, occupied by his family of 10, Silas, his wife Mary Joseph Scarlet, and their 8 children. The logging business brought many workers and fellow landowners to the hills, but it wasn't until Silas discovered rich seams of coal running underneath the entire region that Scarlet Hollow was really put on the map. He saved what he could and brought the surrounding hillside at a great discount, cleverly hiding what he knew about the land's true value. Thus, he had all the resources to found Scarlet Hollow's now famous coal mine. This reminds me of the thing about, like, trying to figure out how to become incredibly rich in this country. It was like, I'm sorry, hard work just isn't going to be enough. Have you considered massive fraud? You're finished with this one. Appalachian folk monsters. A few entries catch your eye. The Mothman, the Jersey Devil, Ginseng Babies, the Bell Witch, the Hopkinsville Goblins, a Wampus Cat, Tommy Knockers, and a Taily Po. I'm not going to do many of these, but I will do the Jersey Devil. Though the New Jersey Pine Barrens, the place where this creature is said to have been born, are far from the Appalachian wilderness, sightings of the Jersey Devil have been documented all throughout the forests of the eastern United States. Everybody's jealous. Indeed, Leah. Woot, New Jersey. According to popular legend, the Jersey Devil was born to a woman named Jane Leeds. Leeds, upon realizing she was pregnant with her 13th child and daunted by the task of giving birth yet again, cursed the child in her womb, proclaiming it would be the devil itself. In other versions, it was part of a prophecy, as I recall. Though born a normal child, it quickly transformed, getting a goat or horse's head, large bat wings, and a forked devil's tail. Kicking at the family and lashing out with its tail, it flew up the chimney and out into the night, disappearing into the Pine Barrens. The Jersey Devil is one of the oldest cryptids in North American history, with sightings spanning back through the 1800s all the way to the origin of the myth in the late 1700s. It is said to move with incredible speed and is recognizable by its high-pitched, blood-curdling scream. But you have to go to the Pine Barrens to see it, and who wants to do that, really? Anyway, where are the Tommy Knockers? I will touch on them as well. Here we go. Tommy Knockers originated in Cornish mythology, spreading into the United States when Cornish immigrants began working in Appalachian mines. They are named for the knocking that can be heard from seemingly within the walls before a cave-in. According to some, the knocking serves as a benevolent warning. Others believe that the creatures take stolen hammers to the supports of the mines and collapse them on whoever is unfortunate enough to still be inside them. They are traditionally thought to be impish, leprechaun-like beings, but some claim they are the spirits of dead miners forever cursed to haunt their final resting place. The secret to avoiding death by Tommy Knocker? Say it with me now. Do not go in the hole. As we learned from Well, There's Your Problem. Everything leaks on a long enough timeline. Helicopters desperately want to be on the ground and will do anything they can to get there. Do not go in the hole. And don't paint over brick. Oh, and most important of all, safety regulations are written in blood. These are the lessons from Well, There's Your Problem. I think I'm all done. Let's check in. Alright, if we're going with what Kanika's mom told us last night, I think we can rule out any natural disasters as what brought the ditchlangs here. But not nuclear incidents. Looks like our state has a history with those. What about y'all? Find anything? Before you can respond, Pixel leaps onto the table. Almost on instinct, Stella slams her book shut. Look at that handsome lad. Oh, hey, Pixel. You might want to close your book. He loves to rip up any paper he can find. And yet we keep him in a library. That's weird. Stella's here, but Gretchen isn't. That's fine, as long as she brought the good stuff. Don't worry, little guy. I didn't forget your treats. Oh, yeah. Snack time. Crunch, crunch. Sorry if Pixel is bothering y'all. Hopefully he hasn't gobbled up any of our books. He can't stand the thought that people might pay attention to anything that isn't him. Hey Pixel, what do you think about the monsters we saw in the woods? I'm an indoor cat. I don't know nothing about no woods. I just hang out in the library, especially now that our house got haunted. Pixel says your house is haunted? What's up with that? Haunted? Wait, Pixel said? So it is true then? Yes, at least I think it is. There isn't any other explanation.
Yeah, like
Hang on. Okay. Charlie's either psychic or they can talk to animals. It's a long story. I think you just told it. Anyway, just roll with it. We have been living in the library for a bit. It's been great. Way more snacks. Way more scritches. So sometimes there's too many scritches. Hold up, what kind of haunting are we talking about here? Unexplained noises? Objects appearing in strange and unfamiliar places? Oh, Scar, don't get her hopes up like that. Nothing like that, sorry. The floor in Rosalina's bedroom just keeps seeping blood, and I've seen a strange figure in the hallway a couple of times. Wait, you've seen a full-body apparition? At this time of year? In this part of the country? Localized entirely within your room? May I see it? Stella, how many times have you gone on ghost hunts and been tricked by shadows? You know what it's gonna be. But what if it's an actual ghost?
thank you. That will be important.
It's totally a ghost. Let's go bust it. Now, it is worth looking into, though. Let's see here. You're more than welcome to check it out. Maybe tomorrow night? Yes, we'll be there. Yeah, that sounds like a fun way to spend an evening. Can't wait to get spooked by some creaky floorboards. Why do you let a paper shredder freely wander a library? I was wondering. Why don't you mind your own business? Have you seen this little guy's face? How could I say no to that? You leave Pixel be. Cat curls up on the table, fast asleep. Alright, I'd better get back to shelving. Let me know if you all need anything. Let's talk about historical buildings of Scarlet Hollow. Oh my god, you read that? That book was assigned as a punishment if we misbehaved in school. It's an excellent sleep aid. NyQuil and melatonin have nothing on historical buildings of Scarlet Hollow. Rumor has it nobody's read it from cover to cover. You guys are missing out. That's one of my favorite books here. Such rich history. Guess we're just kindred spirits, Charlie. Heyo. Hang on. If we're serious about solving this mystery, we have to learn as much as we can about the town's past. Oh, definitely. I brought this book here for a reason. I'm just surprised someone finally got through it. When was someone going to tell me that the mayor is a literal dog? Good reaction shot. Haha, darn, I was hoping it to be a surprise. Scarlet Hollow hasn't had a human mayor since the 20s. The 1920s, God, I have to say that now. Anyway, yeah, if you were hoping the mayor might be able to help us out here, you're out of luck. Now hold up, Kanika. Can Charlie talk to animals? Maybe they can get the mayor to help. Stella, how would that even work? It's not like we can just tell people the mayor told Charlie to listen to them. I can't believe I'm even talking about this. You're right, though. Let's say, you're right, though. You're right. Back to our mayorless drawing board. What happened to the estate? Well, at some point the hill was built on and started falling apart. I think it's pretty stable at this point, though. Is it? Stella, you've seen the place. And half of it is still mostly okay. That's like it being alright. Why don't people go to church here? We just never really had a good pastor around these parts. Not as long as I've been around, at least. This hits different now that I have gotten into... now that I've been learning secondhand about Adventures in Odyssey. And thinking about the fact that this sleepy rural town has minimal actual church presence, but a god king-like figure who runs the local ice cream shop. Yeah, stuff gets pretty weird. Wouldn't be surprised if they had a Wits End like place. Anyway. And I'm not much of a real church person anyways. Who has the time? The building gives off weird vibes too, and not in the fun haunted way. Even the hospital is named after my family. I know it's in the name, but calling it a hospital is generous. Right now it's a one-woman medical clinic. If any serious emergencies happen these days, we gotta call in an ambulance from out of town. That's where our friend Reese and his mom live. She's the town doctor, though these days she doesn't really see a lot of patients. The Tremaine home seems like one of the only things here that doesn't have the Scarlet name on it. Yeah, I think they've been around these parts even longer than your family, though they're the Tremaines and the Callaways now. They literally split their farmhouse in half over that schism. Duke's actually on the Callaway side of the family. How about the coal mines? Kanika visibly shudders. I get cold sweats just thinking about being in a place like that. I feel for the guys who work up there. I could never. Speak for yourself, I love a good crevasse. A union-busting mine collapsed from poor working conditions. Color me shocked. No, do not go in the hole, Leah. It doesn't matter if it was made for you. Fill it with concrete. That's what you must do. Yeah, it's pretty awful. That's what that sculpture out front is for, commemorating all the men and children who died that day. Every kid in Scarlet Hollow learns about the collapse of 1918. Our teachers love to emphasize how many children they had working down there, probably to try and show us how good we have it, or whatever. Low bar, if you ask me. You'll be going back to it soon. America. Anyway. You know, that could be what the ditchlings are warning us about. Another collapse. Writing it down on the list of potential disasters. Yeesh, Stella, that's morbid. And besides, that one was all Charles Shaw's fault. Old two-buck Chuck himself. The labor market's way more strict now. There's no way you could get away with that kind of safety cutbacks he pulled. Ha! This was written in like 2019. Y'all don't actually think the mine is about to collapse, right? No, I don't think so. Whew, had me worried there for a second. I hate to give Tabitha any credit, but the mine is safer now than it was back then. Still, what a horrible thought. Depressing laughter indeed, Leah. It's the Kristen Bell animated gif of her laughing and then tears streaming down her face. That one. History tends to be written by the winners. Maybe there's more to Charles Shaw? More than these dusty old books are letting on. Normally I'd be inclined to agree with you there, but we're talking about an old-timey coal boss. I'd be shocked if he wasn't cutting corners. Charlie does make a fair point. Shaw was certainly a problematic figure, but there might be other details that were lost to time. Sure, but the guy was run out of town on a rail. There's a great picture of it in the front. And that's not a figure of speech. Back then, they actually tied you to a rail and ran you out of town. There's a big mural of it over on the far wall. like they did to Homer Stokes in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? He got off easy, if you ask me. What happened after the mine collapse? The book just kind of glosses over that. There was a union for a little bit, but it didn't last. There's not a lot written about the past century here. Yeah, the Scarlet Hollow mine isn't exactly the most ethically run business. I'm sure Tabby runs the mines better than Charles Shaw did. Still hasn't let the union in, though. There is a reason she and I don't talk. What if the ditchlings are coming from the mines? Maybe there's something in the mines that's making people sick and changing them. Well, that wouldn't explain how many ditchlings we saw last night. Like, sure, occasionally a miner goes missing, but we saw dozens of those things. I mean, it's definitely not mutated miners, but what if there's some sort of parasite down there? Maybe it got into some animals and spread to the woods. This is what I'm saying. Now that I think about it, Wayne's a miner. Maybe that ties him to all of this. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's one of the more plausible explanations we've got so far. Any luck with Rosalina? Not yet. I knew a teen would be a handful, but I didn't think it would happen overnight. I'll probably head out once you're all done and check on her usual haunts. Still, though, what was it you were saying about nuclear incidents? I actually know the answer to this. It's that unexploded atomic bomb on the other side of the state, but... a cult. So Silas Scarlet. What a revisionist biography he had. Really glosses over all the war crimes to paint a picture of a self-made man. It is a perfect example of why you should use multiple sources for your research instead of trusting the first thing you read on a subject. Yep, dude was a monster. Sorry you're related to him. This town is stuck in the past and built on atrocities. It's already practically collapsing onto itself, metaphorically speaking. No offense. But maybe that's why the ditchlings are here. None taken. Why would the ditchlings be here now, though? Scarlet Hollow has been like this for as long as I can remember. The mines are the obvious common thread here. The whole town's built around them. Omens or cryptids, they're the smartest place to start our investigation. Good idea. There's an awful lot of mines-related stuff in my notes. We can poke around, find out if anyone's seen anything weird. Just to clarify, you two were suggesting we go question some of the miners, right? We're not poking around unprepared in the actual mines, right? Well, right? Yeah, totally, 100%. I would never. We don't even have a good reason to go down there. Good, let's keep it that way. You know how I feel about mines. Mary Sushi indeed. Foreshadowing. I promise, Neeks, we're just gonna question some of the miners. Yeah, and Rambo was just going to provide the pictures. And if that question gives us a good reason to go poke around, say, a cool abandoned coal mine, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You can cross that bridge when we come to it. I am not going underground. Good job, Kanika. Kanika gets it. Kanika understands the assignment. Do not go in the hull. I'm just messing with you. We'll stick to the surface. Wink! That reminds me, there's been this really unsettling miner who's been coming around my mom's tea shop lately. His name's Wayne, and there's something wrong with him. Like, viscerally wrong. Wait. So other people can see Wayne? And they're not like, holy shit, there's a zombie? I'm so confused. It sounds like Kanika might be talking about the miner you ran into on your way back to the estate last night. I ran into a pretty terrifying guy on my way back last night. He called out to me by name, but it's gotta be the same guy, right? Dang, that's spooky. Yeah, it's gotta be him. I'm so sorry that happened. I don't know if there's much of a connection, but if we're headed to the mines, we might as well look into him. I'm sure that Tabitha is just gonna love that we're snooping around. We'll just have to make sure we don't get caught. We'll be super sneaky. I can even keep lookout. Look at us going out on a caper together. I miss this. I missed it too. Though there is something missing. Reese. I really missed that dude. Oh, hang on. We have an interloper. Okay, here we go. We have banned the bot. Alright, let's see here. Can't believe how long it's been. Have you seen him lately? Nope, I tried to plan stuff, but he's been too sick. I didn't realize it was getting so bad. That poor guy. You know, we could just pop over and surprise him. Hell yeah, let's do it. See you, Oscar. We'll let you know if we run into Rosalina. Thanks, guys. I'll keep you all posted. Reading adventure. Spend some time in the library on Tuesday. Reese's home stands at the edge of the forest wall, an isolated buffer cushioning the rest of the town from unending wilderness. Unlike several of the other entries in historical buildings of Scarlet Hollow, this one still looks mostly like it did in the book. Reese and Stella, I brought some buddies too. Shh, not so loud, he's still sleeping. Can I help you with something? The woman in the doorway stares directly into your eyes. You can practically feel her simmering irritation washing over you. Hi, Dr. Kelly. We were wondering if it would be okay if Reese could come hang out. Nothing strenuous, we promise. I'm not going to wake him up. If he's sleeping, he probably needs it. Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what we can manage right now anyways. Oh no, poor Reese. It's just been so long since either of us have gotten the chance to hang out with him. I'm sure he and Charlie would get along super well, too. Hi, I'm Charlie. Vivian's kid? I know who you are. The way she avoids looking at you as she speaks makes you feel like you've done something wrong, even though you're pretty sure you've done nothing at all. I'm tripping out by that plaid. It's a lot to take in. Hang on. Meow, meow. Reese's mom turns back to the house, sighing. Sorry, I know that was a little rude. You just want to hang out with Reese, and he misses both of you too. He's usually feeling his best around mid-afternoon. Why don't you come over tomorrow? We can have some supper and you all can hang out for a bit. I don't promise that he'll be perky, but I'm sure it'll brighten his spirits to see you two again. And I suppose you can come too, Charlie. Well, that'd be great. I can bring a side dish. Maybe deviled eggs? You still eat those? No, eggs are a little much for him. They don't settle well. You can leave the cooking to me. I know what he can handle. Okay, I'll bring soda then. That's not... Okay, yes, fine, you can bring soda. But nothing with caffeine. Ginger ale, preferably. Oh, and leave the dog at home. Ah. Okay, no dogs. Thank you so much, Dr. Kelly. We'll stop bothering you now. See you later. Dr. Kelly nods in acknowledgement and quickly shuts the door. The sound of several locks clicking into place can be heard from within. God, that woman makes me so nervous. Are you okay, Stella? I'm fine. She used to be so nice when we were kids. Always had the best stickers when we would get our shots. Maybe she's just stressed about Reese. Hinky vibes. You could say that, yes. Leah, remind me, have you seen the rest of this game as it was before the update? Because, like, this is my second time playing through it, and knowing what happens does change my perspective on a lot of it. But I agree, hinky vibes for sure. Or maybe she's just nice to kids. Either way, I guess it's just the three of us. You gonna drive? Yeah, sorry, I don't like the thought of going up there without the van. Cool, I'll take my shortcut then. It shouldn't take long for me to get there. You're welcome to tag along, Charlie. Don't worry, I won't be offended if you'd rather ride with Kanika. I'm sure you're probably sick of the woods. Either way works for me. Alright. Chat. Voice your opinion, if you care, whether we go spend time with Kanika or Stella. In fact, while you do that, I'm going to go refill my water bottle. I'll be right back. That when your water bottle is bigger than the sink you're filling it in. Anyway, ooh, we've got a split between Leah and Mary Sushi, Stella and Kanika. All right. Okay. So that means it's a coin flip. Leah said Stella first, so Leah is heads. Mary Sushi tails will be Kanika. It came up tails. Okay. In fact, let's save. Theoretically, we can do both. Oh, okay. Mary Sushi changing the vote to be see what Stella says about losing Gretchen. We can do that. We can go with Stella. We can also come back to the save later if we want to. Anyway, I'll walk with Stella. We'll meet you there. The woods are calm and serene compared to last night, though you can't help but feel that danger lurks just beyond the trees. Any sightings? None yet. Hey, thanks for coming along with me. Should we talk about last night? Like, actually talk about it? I'm good. I appreciate the offer, but I'd really rather not get into it. Not much forthcoming on that front yet. Anyway. It's hard to imagine you and Kanika doing videos together. She doesn't believe any of this stuff. Well, they really weren't as spooky focused as my solo stuff. It was mostly just the escapades of 3 kids with too much time on their hands. 3 kids? Still, she wasn't always such a skeptic. She used to absolutely love reading anything with magic in it, and she still does, I think. She just doesn't think that stuff is real anymore. I guess I don't exactly think that way either, but I'm still willing to accept the unexplainable while she looks for explanations. She keeps me grounded, honestly. Is it just me, or does this conversation feel kind of stilted? Are you okay? I'm sorry, I guess I'm just a little on edge from being back in the woods. Or maybe the exhaustion from last night is finally catching up with me. The conversation comes to a dramatic halt, both of you whirling around to face the source of the sound. That sound being of a twig cracking behind you. Back off, this is my stick. Phew, just a bird. I guess we're both a little on edge, huh? Let's hurry to the mine, it shouldn't be much farther. I wanted to question the bird! Oh well. Kanika casually leans against her van as you and Stella emerge from the woods. Hey. You have a good walk? It was alright. You didn't run into any of those creatures, did you? Nope. That makes sense, they're probably nocturnal. I don't know if I should feel relieved or disappointed. But we're all here. What's the plan? Oh man, Mary Sushi, yeah, indeed. Perfectly fine. Not hiding, not repressing any emotions, certainly not disassociating in order to avoid dealing with trauma. Never. Why would you even say such a thing? I guess we could just go talk to people. I guess so. I should probably be on lookout duty. I'm a bit of a persona non grata in the mines. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have, like, posters up that say, do not let this person in. Tabitha? Yeah, I might have tried sneaking in to talk to her a time or two too many. We're probably less likely to get caught if only one of us is snooping around down there. If Stella's on lookout duty and only one of us is going in, what will the third person be doing? Hey, you know those cheesy rom-coms where someone wears an earpiece on their first date? Well, you have some kind of surveillance rig in the back of your van that I didn't know about? What? No. I have a pair of earbuds with a really good mic. We just do a group call. I take it I'm the one going in? Tabitha and I aren't exactly friends, and pretty much all the miners shop at the general store. I don't want to make folks uncomfortable, you know? It's probably for the best, Charlie. Alright, you're good, Kanika. I got this. You'll do great. Kanika hands you a pair of earbuds. We can feed you questions if you get stuck, and Stella can give you a heads up if Tabitha's headed your way. Dang, I miss doing this sort of thing with you. You're so thorough. Oh, thanks. I do my best. I guess we should just part ways and start the call, yeah? Stella and Kanika break off, leaving you alone at the entrance to the mines. Your phone buzzes. Hey! Can you hear us? Try saying something. Won't people notice that I've got an earpod on? Nah, people these days have all kinds of things in their ears. It's called multitasking. You'll be fine. Nothing to do now but enter the worksite. You pass through the unlocked fence and enter the property of the Scarlet Hollow mine. Hacker voice. I'm in. Alright, Morpheus, good to know. Let's go to the group of miners. You approach the nearest group of miners, a blonde woman, a broad-shouldered man, and an old-timer. Their uniforms identify them as Harrison, Davis, and Zax, I guess. You got a reason to be bothering us? My god, if the dude on the bus comes back there. I'm not having it. Anyway, you know anything about a guy named Wayne? Yeah, we know him. He was such a cut-up. Miss that dude. What happened to him? The miners shift for a moment, uncomfortably glancing at one another. Isn't that the guy y'all said was, He's gone. That's all that matters. What happened to him, though? What, are you some sort of cop? I can't just say, hey, I think I saw him the other day. Yeah, we'll lie. Say, yeah, I'm a cop and I'm looking at whatever happened to Wayne. Yeah, I don't like the smell of this one bit. I know bait when I see it. Let's get out of here. Our shift's about to start anyways. Sorry. The miners pack up their things and leave. Let's approach another group of miners. You stop in your tracks, a shiver running up your spine, as an unfortunately familiar voice calls out to you. You shouldn't have come here. It's dangerous. There's an actual option that's a ghost. Why are you following me? You don't have to be afraid of me. I'm the only person in this town who truly cares about your safety. Don't forget that. Even if it's already too late to stop what's going to happen. Where were you when I was being attacked by that mountain lion? I would have stepped in if the old man hadn't beat me to it. Clearly, I need to be closer to you. Before you can say another word, the figure is gone. Hey, Charlie, you still there? We were getting some weird static from you. Don't mind me. Our new friend just stopped by to say hello. Whoa, I thought I saw you talking to someone down there. You okay? He said some real ominous shit to me. Like I'm the only person in this town who truly cares about your safety, that sort of thing. What the hell is that supposed to mean? The plot thickens. Just means I'm on the right track. I'm not about to back down. Whoa, so brave. Heck yeah, Charlie, we got your back. We should regroup. I don't like the thought of spending more time here. You're interrupted by a sudden movement out of the corner of your eye. A girl carrying a bundle of snacks pops through a hole in the fence and disappears over the crest of a hill. Hey, I think I just saw Rosalina. Wait, really? What's she doing here? Clearly she is doing a delinquency. I mean, yeah, but what kind of delinquency? Only one way to find out. Let's go after her. Uh-oh. Leave the mining camp without Tabitha being alerted to your presence. This may not go well, kids. You rush over the hill and get your bearings, the sounds of active mining fading into the distance. Rosalina is nowhere to be found, but dusty footprints point toward a nearby mine. She didn't. I guess the old Maxwell place doesn't cut it as a secret hangout spot these days. But the Shaw mine? That place was shut down like 100 years ago. After a collapse that killed over 100 people. And here I thought Stella was going to be the one to drag me into an abandoned coal mine. Have teens always been like this? I feel like I really missed out during my risk-taking years. Yeah, I didn't go to any abandoned mines. I never did anything like this. Yeah, I would never. Wink! Oh, hey. Let's take a second to point out, look who's decided to join us up in the tree over here. Okay, maybe I poked my head in there a few times. Well, let's get in there before someone gets hurt. Oh, you sure you want to tag along, Deeks? Charlie and I can handle this on our own. Yeah, I'm sure. As much as I hate confined spaces, I'm not about to let Rosalina get hurt in there. Even if it means I have to go underground. Stella and Kanika disappear into the mines. Before you follow, you briefly wonder if you should let Tabitha know about this. Yes. You pull out your phone and dial your cousin. What is it? I'm in a meeting. A kid just snuck into the Shaw mine. Figured you should know. What? Are you serious? Why do things keep happening to me? Everything happens so much. Also, why do you know about this? What the hell were you doing at my mine? Whatever. I'll head down there as soon as I can. Just stay where you are and wait for me, alright? God, I don't even know why I'm trying to reason with you. It's not like you'll listen. I called you as a courtesy, but I'm not going to wait around for you. I swear to God. I'm sorry, but my mind's made up. You hang up the call. Follow Kanika and Stella into the mine. You take a deep breath and follow your new friends into the mine. The inside of the mine is warmer than you'd expect. The air thick and wet. The ceiling hangs much lower than you are tall, forcing you and your companions to hunch over, your legs bent in a painful squat as you begin to navigate its maze of corridors. Hey, you made it. I told you they would. I just wanted to make a quick call and give Tabitha the info. You didn't. I was hoping we'd be able to get Rosalina out of here without anyone calling the cops on her. Or us. Tabitha had better not try to have us arrested for trespassing. Oh, I wouldn't worry about her calling the cops. I snuck into the mines dozens of times and she never called the cops on me. That's because you two have a weird thing. I'm pretty sure Tabitha actively hates me, and believe me, the feeling is extremely mutual. Well, what matters is that the gang's all here. We'll find Rosalina in no time. We press on. The deeper you progress into the mine, the heavier the air becomes. Coal dust hangs in thick clouds around you, even though this place was abandoned over a century ago. Jesus, it's cramped down here. Anyone else's chest feel tight? Yeah, abandoned mines are way more claustrophobic than people expect them to be. This one's real bad. You know, because of the child miners. Or should I say the minor miners. Mind your miner, it will surely spoil. Sleep down in the soil. Nothing come from nothing, come on. Kanika visibly shudders. Okay, I'm not superstitious, but if there's one way to make sure you get haunted, it's cracking jokes about dead child laborers while walking on their graves. He's got a point. What can I say? I do my best to tempt the spirits wherever I go. I can't believe you come down here on purpose. Yeah, it was part of my ghost hunting phase. Jesus, Stella, the things you do for your viewers. Did you find anything? I wish. If any place in Scarlet Hollow is actually haunted, it'd be this mine, hands down. But all I got was dust in my lungs and a couple of false alarms. When Tapao Vulcan was playing through this a while back, I'm pretty sure I made the comment about, like, there's probably content creators out there who have done exploration of abandoned mines and put it up with ASMR audio tags on YouTube. And you know what? I was right. So you can listen to that while you fall asleep and have great dreams, I'm sure. Anyway. Stella pauses as sound rushes overhead. Oh my god, what was that? The mine's gonna collapse and we're all gonna die here, aren't we? Stella sighs longingly. Yeah, that's just how wind sounds down here. You sound so disappointed. Just brings back memories of my last foray into these depths. Every time I thought I'd finally found a spooky ghost, there'd wind up being a very unghostly explanation. Like local wildlife, for instance. Stella turns her flashlight up towards an alcove overhead. Hey, what's the big idea? Yeah, we were sleeping here. Shut that light off, you nosy bastards. Those guys got me real good last time I was here alone. Oh my god, there are bats down here? I'm gonna get rabies, aren't I? I'm gonna get rabies and die in a mine collapse. You holding up okay, Neeks? Yeah, sorry, just a little on edge. Kanika is stopped mid-sentence by a thunderous knock echoing from deeper in the mine. Okay, what was that? That was... I have no idea what that was. Did that sound like knocking to you guys? Sounds like rocks shifting somewhere deeper in the mine. We should be careful. Could be, or maybe it's Tommy knockers. Okay, no, Tommy knockers are not real. They're not allowed to be real. Are you just trying to give me a panic attack? I'd love to spend some extra time poking around down here. Maybe it's got something to do with the mystery. The three of you are interrupted by a second, much less distant sound of a can being popped open. Okay, now that wasn't Tommy knockers. It came from this way. Follow me. These kids are in so much trouble. Follow Stella. You and Kanika follow Stella further into the mine. You breathe a sigh of relief as the tight passageways give way to a small cavern. A group of teens turns and stares at you with annoyance. What the hell are all of you doing in here? What the hell are you doing in here, you creeps? Are you stalking us? Why are you obsessed with me? Yeah, creeps. I just said that, Alexis. If I wanted an echo, I'd yell into the Grand Canyon. What are you, 5? I do like making fun of Becca here. I'm 15, you loser. It's true, Becca is the living worst. You are not wrong. Leah and Mary Sushi both in agreement in the chat about this. Rosalina, your dad's worried sick about you. And if you ask me, he was right to worry. Yeah. Yeah, he was. Why the hell would you think hanging out in an abandoned old mine would be a good idea? Is the Maxwell place not dangerous enough? Because no one usually comes in here, duh. Everyone knows we hang out at the Maxwell place now, so we had to find a new hideout. Which you instantly found, so I guess we'll have to find an even more secluded place where we can just be ourselves. I can't believe your dad sent people to follow you, Rosalina. That's messed up. I think that qualifies as harassment. You're right, Becca. It is messed up. I don't need him telling me where I can be. You could at least check in so he knows you're not dead. You know he loves you and worries about you. He's really not asking for much. Don't you get to have school tomorrow anyways? It's fall break. And we're not kids. Shut up, you literal child. Yeah, we're teens. Are those canned strawberry margaritas? Where did you even get those? The teens avoid eye contact. Miles tries to melt into the cavern wall. Oh no, I know that isn't you, Miles, and it better not be you. Yeah, whatever, it's me. What are you even doing here? Becca's right. It sounds to me like you're stalking and harassing and all that. You're supposed to be minding the store. It's not like anyone even comes in on Tuesdays. And Mom's there, so it's fine. Eyes dart uncomfortably around the cavern as Kanika tears into her brother. It is not fine. It's extremely not fine. Why do I always have to be the responsible one? Do you know what I would have given to be as carefree as you? I left school so that you would have a chance to live your life, and this is what you're doing with it? What would Dad think if he could see this, stealing booze from the family store to dick around in an abandoned mine? In this moment, I am getting extreme Bee from Night in the Woods vibes from Kanika. Dad's dead, Kanika. But if he were here, he'd be disappointed you wound up being such a bossy jerk. Leah gets it. I'm glad. Thank you. Who cares if we're having canned margaritas somewhere nobody's supposed to bother us? You're inside an abandoned mine. A condemned abandoned mine. I'd love to help y'all sort this out, but can we maybe not do it in an abandoned, condemned coal mine? Oh, what are you, an expert on mine safety? I don't need to be an expert to know that this place has been condemned for 100 years, and do not go in the hole! They only abandoned this place because there wasn't enough coal left to bother digging anymore. That isn't even remotely true. My dad told me, and he's an actual foreman at the continuous mining facility, so he knows what he's talking about. Wait, I thought your dad was a charge hand. No, Alexis, he got promoted last month, and he says this place is totally safe and we can hang out here anytime we want. Correction, your father was a foreman at the continuous mining facility. We'll see if he even has a job tomorrow morning. Becca's, actually all of their faces, but especially Becca's face right there. Doing? What? Oh shit. Oh hey Tammy. Kanika sighs. It's probably for the best that she's here. Do none of you understand what a boarded up mine entrance is supposed to mean? It means it's closed, condemned, not fit for human use. Do not go in the hole. Oh, come on, this place is way sturdy. Check it out. The teen with the beanie jumps up and slaps a strut on the ceiling. Oh, was that the knocking that we were hearing earlier? Oh my god, Zane, cut it out. You're embarrassing us. I'm sorry for Zane's behavior. I don't think he realizes how extremely 8th grade it is to jump up and hit things. You're 9th graders. Calm down. No offense, Rosalina. None taken. The other 8th graders are totally immature. Not like you, Rosalina. You're chill. And smart, too. And also pretty. Enough. The damage is already done. Now leave. I'm tired of people in this town dragging my cousin headlong into danger. Can't believe I actually agree with Tabitha about anything, but this is the worst place I've ever been in my entire life, and I would like to see the sun again before I die. Oh, come on, guys. Maybe it's not a big deal. We used to do dangerous things all the time. I still do dangerous things now. Stella, you're not helping. Who are we to tell them where they can hang out? Tabitha owns the mine. She is legally the one who can tell them to get out. Not to mention, it's illegal to be here at all. I don't know who you think you are in this situation, Stella, but I own this mine. Thank you, Tabitha. It is entirely within my rights to tell them to leave, much like it is entirely within my rights to tell you to leave. Was your lifetime ban from my mines not a clear enough message for you? Hell yeah, Tabitha. Tear that sad 20-something to shreds. Hey, I'm defending you, and I'm not sad. Where'd you get that idea? I really wanted all of them to just be like, shut up, Becca! Running a clickbaity YouTube channel where you run around in the woods chasing nothing is extremely sad. So she's sad. So what? Give it a few years and you'll be sad too. The passage of time is inescapable. You're about to be way sadder now that you've gone to becoming from a single income family to a no income family. Look, we just wanted to give Rosalina a good time. Her home life sucks right now. Actually, no, they're a dual income family, but like, still. Yeah, tell them about where you have to sleep, Rosalina. We've been living in the library for the past couple of weeks. Dad says we can't stay at our house. They got a hot plate and a couple cots in one of the back rooms. It's actually a pretty sick setup. No, it isn't, Zane. Rosalina deserves better. We are going to keep that to ourselves for now. There's a time and a place. You keep what Pixel told you earlier to yourself. I don't care about your home life. If you're going to do your underage drinking, go do it in the woods. Just get off of my property. Tabitha. Look, Rosalina, I'm sure Oscar has a good reason for all of that. He's a good guy and he cares about you. He thinks our house is haunted. Oh, not this again. And I should care because it's such a bullshit excuse. I bet he couldn't afford it anymore and is lying to you to save face. What a coward. Becca, I don't think you can just like say that about other people's families. Isn't that like bullying or something? Yep, there's the shut up, Zane. No, you shut up, Becca. Scott actually invited us to check it out when we saw him earlier today. It could make for a fun non-abandoned coal mine related activity. Just throwing that out there. There's no ghost, Stella. It'd be cooler if there was, but Becca's right. I just wish he would be honest with me and tell me what's really going on. It's like he doesn't think I can handle it, like I'm still a little kid. Ugh, you're all children, and none of you realize how good you have it. Back in the day, each and every one of you would be pulling 12-hour shifts in this exact mine. And if it weren't for child labor laws, the 5 of you might have some actual character. Good news, Tabitha! We live in the worst timeline. Anyway. Exactly. Rosalina's not that mature anyways. She still sleeps with stuffed animals. Stop snitching, Becca. It doesn't mean she's not mature. I still have pork chop, you know. I rest my case. Wait, what did you say about child labor? Yeah, maybe you should have been paying attention to that, Zane. At this rate, I'd be surprised if the house wasn't haunted. I've seen some real bad things in this town. Even if it isn't a ghost, it doesn't mean Oscar is lying to you. Ugh. Why are all the adults in this town such weirdos? There is no ghost. There are no such things as ghosts. Oscar is just lying. Ew, what if we break in and ghostbust the place anyways, just to be sure? Oh my god, Zane, you can't ghostbust if there is no ghost. Also, Rosalina lives there. She can't break into her own house. There's no ghost that you know of. I bet we could figure out how to bust it if it's actually real. And if it isn't real, well, problem solved. You know, Rosalina, you could always stay over at my house until Stella ghost busts your place. We have a finished basement with a pull-out couch. Aw. They don't one-to-one match the fashion club, but Becca is definitely Sandy, and Alexis is definitely Stacy. Why are we talking about this like it's a thing? It is not a thing. There is no ghost. Thank you, Leah. I'm glad you agree. I don't care, and I can't believe that I've wasted this much time trying to argue with children. I'm washing my hands of this and calling the cops. Feel free to leave before they show up. Glad I get to use my hand wash emoji again. Anyway. You hear that, Miles? We're leaving. I suggest the rest of you kids leave this empty mine before you get black lung or crushed by rocks or meet any of the many terrible fates that people tend to meet in abandoned mines. Mostly the crushed by rocks one. Or the just trapped in a spot you can't get out of and you starve to death one. That one's real bad too. Don't go in the hole, kids. Don't go in the hole. Kanika is interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. That wasn't me, I swear. Then what was it? Come on, Stella, didn't you have a whole list of perfectly natural explanations for scary mine noises? Oh, it's Tommy knockers for sure. I know this isn't why we came down here, but we gotta check it out. Stella! I know, but weird stuff's been happening around here the past few days. What if this is our chance to get an actual solid lead? The stakes couldn't be higher. Do you have no sense of self-preservation? I want you out of here, Stella. Oh, come on, Tabby, you can come along too. If you guys are going in after something spooky, count me in. Nobody is going deeper into the mine. Nobody is staying in the mine. You're all leaving. Please listen to Tabitha before my heart gives out. It'll be fun, Neeks. It will not. Narrator voice. It was not, in fact, fun. Wait a second. Where did the three of you run off to? Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Wow, Kanika. Maybe if you weren't still scared of the dark or whatever, you would have noticed them sneak off. I noticed them sneak off, and I've been zoning out the whole time we've been here. They must have squeezed through that child-sized tunnel. Dang, I always wonder where that goes. I've never been able to get these hips through there, though. Stella has a dump truck, confirmed. Anyway. Stella, stop sneaking into my mines. Please, I am literally begging you. If only all the tunnels down here were wide enough for adults, we'd already be done with this little mess. But no, there just have to be remnants from a bygone era. Didn't you just talk about how child labor was the good old days a minute ago? Sarcasm not appreciated. I was trying to get you to leave my mine. Becca's head pops out from the tunnel's entrance. Get her! We are not about to let you come in here and ruin our good time. The mine is safe. I've been here 1,000,000 times. Yeah, if Becca says we're safe, then we're totally safe. Whatever, come on, you two. I know a cool spot this way. Okay, I think I know where that tunnel rejoins the rest of the mines. I'll go look for them, and I want each and every one of you to take note of the fact that I'm doing that. If those idiots get themselves lost and die, I am not letting their families sue me into the ground. Are those really your priorities right now? Yes. Do you have a problem with that? I want the rest of you out of my mine! Except for you, Charlie. I'm not letting you out of my sight. Yeah, sure, I can never fit in that tunnel anyways. They have crossed a barrier that I cannot, so my time here is up. Okay, so now I'm sad Hanapengu isn't here for this one specifically, because this is a line where it's giving JP from Craig of the Creek very strongly to me. And man, Craig of the Creek's a great show. Anyway. But only because Stella promised me a ghost hunt tomorrow. Whatever, I still have to do my dailies anyways, and the service down here sucks. What game is he talking about? I'm so curious. Is it Genshin? Is it Honkai Star Rail? Is it Zenless Zone Zero? We may never know. I will happily escort these two knuckleheads out. No, you are not about to weasel your way into this, Stella. Oh, come on, Tabby. I've been down here a ton. I can totally help out. Look at those eyes. Tabitha sighs. There's no getting rid of you, is there? Fine. I won't waste my time arguing. I've read a lot of stories about cave rescuers needing their own rescues. Should we get some professionals down here? Are we biting off more than we can chew? I am a professional, and I'd also prefer to resolve this issue without word getting out, if possible. Again, I don't want to deal with angry parents trying to sue me for their own negligence. Inspiring. Don't worry, Charlie, it'll still be fun and safe. Fun and safe like last night? Give me a break, Stella. I'm coming with you, but it's because I want to come along, not because you're making me. Just want to make that clear. Noted. Let's not linger any longer than we have to, shall we? See you on the other side, hopefully soon. For sure, we won't be long. Cool, can't wait to bust some ghosts tomorrow. Kanika, Maz, and Zane head toward the entrance of the mines, leaving you, Tabitha, and Stella to find the remaining teens. Alright, no dawdling. We should be able to catch up with them if we go this way. You and Stella exchange a glance as Tabitha ventures forward. Venture deeper into the mine. We're at the 2-hour mark. I'm going to keep going, at least for now. Maybe we can finish this episode this time. I don't know. As the three of you move deeper into the mine, you hear the echoes of conversation bounce across the walls. Becca, why are we doing this again? I thought you thought Tabitha was, like, really cool. Why are you trying to get her all mad? We're doing this because Tabitha is really cool. She doesn't let anyone boss her around, so we can't let her boss us around. Oh, you hear that, Tabby? Someone thinks you're cool. I can't believe she used to hang out with a nobody like Stella. Hey. I don't know, I think Stella's kind of cool. Her videos are really neat. Oh, come on. She doesn't even have a sponsor. What kind of a YouTuber doesn't have a sponsor? I mean, not yet, but I'm in talks with Meat Rice, and I make plenty from ads and donations. Oh, Meat Rice. How does it feel to have a teen girl think you're cool, Tabitha? I'm just glad they're not talking about me. Yeah, I know they were just teens, but some of that stuff stung. Oh, hi, Artemisia. Another knock, closer, interrupts your thoughts, followed by another, followed by another. Is it just me, or is that knocking coming from the same direction as those kids? It's not just you. Oh, well, I'm glad you got your taxes done. Okay, that knocking thing is starting to freak me out. Calm down, Rosalina. It's just mind sounds. Did you guys see that? No, it was just a shadow. There's no reason to get freaked out. I saw it. Shut up. There's nothing down here. Stop trying to scare me. It's just the sound of the active mind echoing through the walls, right? Right? No, it's Tommy knockers, I'm sure of it. It's not Tommy knockers. That said, it's also definitely not the active mind. We use a machine these days and it sounds nothing like that. Probably just rocks falling somewhere deeper in the mine, which is also bad for obvious reasons. Getting closer. Let's keep going. Let's hope not, Mary Sushi. As you progress deeper into the mine, the knocking grows more frequent. It's still distant, but it's much louder than before. The tunnel ends abruptly in front of you. A century-old ladder is the only way forward. In the darkness beyond, you can still hear the echoes of terrified teens, their panicked arguing bouncing down the pitch-black corridors. And here we are. The tunnel said they crawled through passes through the tunnel they crawled through passes through the chamber below. It shouldn't be hard to find them once we get down there. I've never been this far in. Congratulations, Stella. You got what you wanted. Tabitha crawls up to the ladder and disappears over its edge. Alright, let's do this. Stella hoists herself over the edge and begins the climb down. You walk to the ladder and climb down. I'm pretty sure this is the way back. Come on. Pretty sure? I thought you'd been down here before. Okay, maybe I didn't get this far in, but whatever. It doesn't matter. I definitely remember the way out. Hurry, I don't want to be down here anymore. I think it was actually this way. Oh, shut up! No one even wanted you to come with us anyway. Becca! Yep, they're close, alright. Good thing they're so damn loud. Yes, I'm aware rocks fall, everyone dies as a trope. I have, in fact, played D&D before, but I'm just saying... You hope not right now. Anyway. It sounds like they're really lost. The voices around you, those of the teens and your companions, sound odd, distant. Almost like they don't sound like them at all. Step forward. Oh, good emote. I like that one. Anyway, there's something in the darkness before you that is much louder, though you don't hear it. Walk towards it. You don't hear it, but you can feel it in your chest. A desperate need to perceive and to be perceived. Oh no, the mortifying ordeal of being known? Wrap yourself in the darkness of the pit. Narrator, or rather narration box, are you getting too in the moment? Hey, are you alright, Charlie? Bear witness. What do you think you're doing? Get away from there! Your cousin dives toward you, but not before the light from your phone illuminates the chamber. Charlie! Charlie, are you alright? Oh, thank God you're alive. It looked like you had a seizure or something, and then you and Tabby just conked out. I'm fine. Ugh. You can barely open your eyes. You're not fine. Neither are you moving muscle. I don't want you straining yourselves while you're still recovering from whatever that was. I'm gonna get you both some help. I'll be back soon, I promise. You fade back out of consciousness as your companion clambers out of the pit, intent on your rescue. You raise up on your elbows, head still swimming from the visions, your surroundings coming back into focus. Your head throbs as the knocking continues, now magnitudes more intense than ever. Through it, you once again hear the panicked voices of bickering teenagers echoing down the stone corridors. Becca, you're just getting us more lost. It's this way. If you're so sure, then why don't you just leave? I can't believe I let Alexis talk me into inviting you in the first place. Becca, I'm just trying to help. I said go. Okay, I will. Alexis, you don't have to go with her. You know that, right? Pick a side, Alexis. I'm sure Becca knows where we're going. She wouldn't just lie. Sorry, Rosalina. The increasingly desperate voices of the teens are drowned out by the thunderous knocking. You can practically feel the ground shake beneath you. You can almost see the walls vibrate with the intensity of the hellish sound. God, that knocking is not helping my headache. What the hell just happened? I just had some sort of vision. Did you see it too? There's gotta be fumes or something down here. It's an old mine. These places are death traps. We probably just hallucinated. No, she can't be gaslighting you. It's coal lighting you. But anyway, how can you be sure? Look, this kind of thing happens in the mines sometimes, especially when there's bad ventilation. Stop being weird. We're leaving. Rosalina appears in the passageway to your left, out of breath and teary-eyed. I'm so sorry I snuck off like that. I just wanted Alexis to think I was cool. The entire cavern shakes with the sound of rockfall. I don't know what the hell is up with that knocking, but that is the sound of a mine collapse. Quick, up the ladder, both of you. Wait, Becca and Alexis are still down there. You can't just leave them there. I know which way they were going. They'll listen to you this time, I promise. Do you have a death wish, little girl? This isn't a movie. The best thing we can do to help those ghosts right now is to not be buried alive ourselves. Alright. Now, the last time I did this, I had keen eye, and I was able to save them both. I don't know what will happen this time, but I know what I want to do, just to try to offer, go after Becca and Alexis. Not so much for Becca, but for Alexis. She doesn't deserve this. Okay, let's do this. Charlie, don't do this to me. They're kids, Tabitha. I'm not gonna leave them down here. Are you serious? Thank you, they're back this way, hurry. Rosalina runs back the way she came. You run after her. The mines shake with each new thunderous blow as bits of rock and dust fall off the ceiling and scatter on the floor around you. Rosalina leads the way, and Tabitha isn't far behind you. I thought you knew the way out. I thought you'd been down here a million times already. I was making it up, okay? I swear to God, Charlie, if we get stuck down here. You say nothing, focused on following Rosalina as she darts ahead. We're coming, just stay where you are. Rosalina, you came back. I don't want to die down here. Oh my God, do I get the dig in? I kind of want him. Oh, look who wants to leave the mine now. Okay, okay. You quickly push your way back towards the entrance, pieces of fallen rock littering the path around you. All of you, start climbing. Now! Once the last teen is up, Tabitha grabs onto the ladder and starts climbing. Climb out of the pit. You follow suit and start climbing. My God, that shot. That's a such heroic nonsense / long live the king ass shot right there. This way, come on. Your cousin moves with the kind of swiftness you'd expect from someone who's spent her entire working life in and around coal mines. I couldn't even just listen to someone other than yourself, Becca. I'm sorry, okay? God. Continue toward the entrance. You push forward, your burning muscles giving way to pure adrenaline. To your horror, you can see cracks forming on the walls of the tunnel. Come on, we've got to go faster. We're almost there. I can see the entrance. Your surroundings quake as the mine collapses around you. Oh no! And then the knocking fades and you feel safe, having arrived back at the entrance in one piece. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Rosalina, are you okay? Clearly she's not okay, idiot. Shut up, Becca! It was your idea to go down here in the first place. This is your fault. Shit. Why? Why did this have to happen? Okay, the knocking stopped at least. All of you, stay exactly where you are. I'm gonna make some calls. This really hurts. Stella and Kanika pop their heads through the mine entrance. Tabitha just stormed out of here. Are you... Oh my god! Rosalina, can you hear me? We're gonna get you out of here, okay? Stella already called an ambulance. But that means cops are gonna come. They're gonna know I was drinking. They're gonna know we went in here to drink, right? Becca, that doesn't matter. If my dad finds out, he'll kill me. He can't know. Becca squirms through the gap in the boards and scampers away. You flat lever. Unbelievable. Don't worry about her, Rosalina. She's being an asshole. One of us should wait by the gate to make sure they can find us up here. I should check in with Tabby, see if she needs help. We're gonna get you help. Everything's gonna be okay. Alright, I'll go down to the gate. Rosalina, I'm so sorry. I'll be back soon. We're gonna get you out of here and you're gonna be just fine, okay? Charlie and Alexis will keep you safe until then. Am I gonna die? Rosalina, don't say things like that. I mean, you're probably not gonna die. The ambulance will be here any minute. You're gonna be okay, I promise. Thanks, Charlie. Rosalina's breath comes in quick, irregular bursts. If I don't make it, tell my dad I'm sorry. I'm the one who has something to be sorry about. This is all me and Becca's fault. We never should have gone down there. It's not your fault. I went down there because I wanted to. Rosalina pauses, catching her breath. Thank you, Charlie. I'm glad everyone else made it out okay. Couldn't have done it without your help. You should stop hanging out with Becca. She bullied both of you into doing things you didn't want to do. Yeah, I like that version. I mean, is it more likely for them to well, we'll see. We'll see if it has the intended effect. But that's what I feel in my heart. It's the truth of my heart that you should stop hanging out with Becca. What are you trying to do? Make this some sort of after-school special? And they're probably right, though. If I had just been smart and brave like you, I never would have let Becca drag me down there. And you wouldn't have had to go after us. And then you wouldn't be... You're the nicest person I know, Rosalina. This just isn't fair. Rosalina, can you hear me? Yeah, still awake. Just hurts like hell. Sorry, I shouldn't be pushing you to talk. I'll just hold your hand until they come back with help, okay? Alexis grasps Rosalina's hand. Tears streak down both of their cheeks as you sit in silence together, waiting for the long, anxious moments to pass before help arrives. Some of my men are on the way with rock lifts. We'll get you out of there soon. They're over here, Earl. Oh my god, okay. Okay, so the younger cop is the sunglasses one who I like to do with the Patrick Warburton voice. So this is the other one. This is just your regular... Jesus H. Christ, you weren't kidding about the emergency. It'll still be a bit for the ambulance. The nearest depot's over in Brevard, so it'll be at least in their half hour. You heard the man. You have half an hour to get her out of there. Move it. Rosalina, sweetie, I'm here. Dad, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You don't have to be sorry. It's okay. We're all here. You can hang on, Rosalina. I know you can. Tabitha's men quickly get to work and manage to pull Rosalina out from the rubble just as the ambulance arrives. Sir, I'm afraid there's no space in the back. What do you mean I can't ride with her? You're better off driving behind us. We're headed to Brevard, so it's quite a ways. Is she going to be okay? She's going to make it, right? Please, God. Yes, sir, I promise you we're doing everything we can to keep her stable. Her vitals are looking good. Rosalina, my poor baby. I'll be there as fast as I can, okay? I promise you won't be alone. I love you, Dad. The paramedics load Rosalina into the back of the ambulance and drive off. Oscar approaches you off to the side as the police talk to Tabitha and her men. What the hell happened in there? That Becca girl is a terrible influence is what happened. I'm gonna admit, I'm just a hater. I'm gonna keep hating on Becca. You can't go blaming a teenager. It was the Tommyknockers that brought the mine down. The what? We don't know what caused the collapse, but Miles is just as much at fault as Becca. No. This was no teenager's fault. It is a parent's job to make sure that the kids don't deliberately put themselves in these situations. Rosalina was mad at me, and instead of fixing the thing that was driving her away, I just ignored it. This is my fault. Oscar, I am the parent here. I'm sure she thinks I'm just making things up about our house being haunted, but I've seen things that I can't explain, and it's only gotten worse over time. My offer still stands to check it out for you, once you're back from the hospital, that is. Thank you, Stella. That means a lot. I've got to go. Mr. Gutierrez, is it okay if I come too? I want to be there for her. Of course, Alexis. It would be good for her to see a friendly face. That isn't Becca. The two of them head over to Oscar's car and drive off. Do you think Rosalina's going to be okay? The paramedic said she was stable. She's a tough kid. She'll be okay. Oh, actually, hang on a second. Any friends in the background? Not at the moment. There was a stone carving on the wall of that pin. Yeah, exactly. Becca's no friendly face indeed. She's no friend of theirs. Rightly said, Artemisia. Gave me some sort of vision. I saw what happened to this place. You sure it wasn't just auto-suggestion? We talked a lot about that mine today. I don't know, Neeks, you weren't down there. Charlie and Tabby had like a simultaneous seizure thing next to a creepy stone carving. It was like something out of a movie. Just because they passed out or had seizures doesn't mean it wasn't auto-suggestion. This is too easy to have been the problem. Yeah, I think you're right. We've still had a lot of unanswered questions too. Even more than we had this morning, and we had a lot of questions this morning. This is all still a little too magic for me. Just because two bad things have happened doesn't mean there's a pattern. Right? What happens now? What happens now? We go home. Now, hold on a minute, Miss Scarlet. Mind if we have a quick word with your cousin, miss, in private? Okay, fine, just make it quick. And don't you dare try and pull anything on them. They did nothing wrong here. Ladies, I'm afraid that means you too. Don't you need to talk to us? We witness this too. Oh, sure, but that can wait. We know where to find y'all. I'm Sheriff Hugby, and this is Deputy Derrickson, but you can call me Earl. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Actually, I think that's not the cop who sounds like that, but whatever. I'm doing it this way for now. Welcome to Scarlet Hollow. Hope this little accident hasn't covered your perception of the place. Lovely place to live, if you ask me. Lovely indeed. Now, Sheriff Hugby, don't you think it's a mite odd that these teens found themselves in an old abandoned mine on the very property Charlie's family happens to own? And don't you think it's even a mite odder that Charlie happened to be in there with them at the time of said collapse? I'd be lying if I said it weren't peculiar, though I'm sure you're an upright citizen, Charlie, and all this is merely an unfortunate coincidence. Still, good cop shouldn't ask himself these questions. Or any questions, for that matter. Because what does a good cop do? Say it with me. Quit. Anyway. Indeed. A cab. But I stand by good cops quit as my motto. But anyway. Yeah, let's ask about the man that's been stalking me. Here we go. He goes by Wayne, and I think he used to work in the mines here. It seems an awful lot like deflection to me. Wouldn't you say so, Earl? This is a nice town. People don't go about stalking strangers in these parts. And if you present evidence to the contrary, we'll just deny it. Please, I'm in fear for my life. Alright, fine. We'll take a description. Derrickson scribbles down your description of Wayne. You watch too many movies, kid. How can you tell us what happened down there? Know your rights. I don't have to talk to you. I know my rights. Unless you decide to accuse me of something, I'm not answering any more of your questions. That's right. Not without a lawyer. And for the record, I haven't done anything wrong. My apologies, Charlie. Just being thorough. Our duty as officers of the law, but we'll leave you be. Clearly, there's not much to be discussed. We'll be in touch. Deputy Derrickson tips his hat to you. The two officers wander back toward the mine, Derrickson taking notes as they examine the scene. You make your way towards Stella and Kanika. I just can't believe it. I left them behind in there to get help. Is it my fault, Neeks? Stella, no, you did your best. It's not your fault. Oh, hey, I guess the cops are done with you? What, are they going to take you in for being present at an accident? Sorry if they gave you a hard time. Small town cops, you know. Always blame everything on drifters. Even acts of God, I guess. Hey, just like Possum Springs. Excellent. You didn't get arrested. Yeah, because I know my rights. Now, come on, let's get back to the estate. I'd like to get some rest before I have to deal with the fallout of everything that happened tonight. I'll see you tomorrow, okay, Charlie? Please stop trying to get my cousin killed, Stella. Come on, let's go. Tabitha starts walking to her car, pulling you by your arm. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. You can practically feel Tabitha roll her eyes as she drags you to the car. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. You try to keep an eye on the surrounding wilderness as she drives, wary of what may lurk behind the tree line. Sorry about today. Tabitha doesn't answer. You drop it. Tabitha's eyes remain fixated on the road. Why do you treat Stella like that? Didn't you two used to be friends? A long time ago, but I haven't thought of you lately at all. Come on now, sugar. Bring it on, hey. Anyway, sorry. It was a different time in my life. I just wish that she'd get that we're not in high school anymore. I'm a different person than whoever she thinks she knows. You think you know, but you have no idea. This is the diary of Tabitha Scarlet. Poor Rosalina. It was a phase. It wasn't a phase, Mom. Poor Rosalina. Poor Oscar. He should have kept tighter reins on that girl. I never got in any trouble like this when I was a teen, and I have Perlan to thank for it. Hated it at the time, but that strictness paid off. Why am I telling you this? You can tell me stuff. I'd like to know more about you. And about Perlan, for that matter. Maybe later this week. I don't have the energy to get into it right now, but I think I'd like that. I gotta focus on the road. How are you holding up? Poorly, but I'd really rather we didn't get into it. I don't really want to do the others of these. Ride in silence. Your eyes wander back to the tree line as you and Tabitha sink back into silence. You once again cross the threshold into the estate, the musty stench of the decaying mansion greeting you with its undertones of mildew and wood rot. Well, this day was a lot more stressful than it needed to be, and I'm sure it's the precursor to a horrifically stressful week. I'm going to bed. I suggest you do the same. Thanks for calling me about those kids, by the way. It was unexpected. You should have waited for me. I'm too tired to argue. See you in the morning. Tabitha turns and makes her way up the stairs, her posture defeated. Turn in. You head up to your room to turn in. You collapse in Tabitha's dusty guest bed, your head empty of thoughts. After your time in the Shaw mine, you barely even notice the dust. Your phone buzzes on the table. Y'all, these are those things, right? Kanika sends a picture of a pair of ditchlings by the side of the road. I saw them again, too. Another picture, this time of them staring from a tree. WTF? These things are definitely not hairless monkeys or raccoons or whatever. I don't know what the hell they are. I guess there's more to them being here than just the mine collapse. No way I'm sleeping tonight. You think about looking out the guest room window, but at this point you're too exhausted to leave your bed. The adrenaline from this evening is finally wearing off, replaced by a creeping exhaustion that threatens to overwhelm you. Your limbs feel heavy, your eyelids slipping down over your eyes, even as you stare down at the ominous pictures on your phone. If it weren't for the pit of dread bawling in your stomach, you would almost feel comfortable as you settle in between the covers, your tired bones sinking into the decrepit mattress. When you close your eyes, you see Rosalina's face, twisted with pain, staring up at you with tear-streaked cheeks, trapped by powers beyond her control, terrified of what her now uncertain future would hold. Your eyes shoot back open, your heart pounding as the door to your room swings open. Just the cat. It's always just the cat. Don't read into this. That woman kicked me out. Just want a warm place to sleep. It's nice to see another living being, even one as unfriendly as Tabitha's cat. The comfort of her presence sets your mind at ease, and you finally slip into a deep sleep. And you have a ghost guard now, which is important. It's not the end of that knocking. This is the end of episode 2. Episode 3 awaits. Proceed if you dare. Okay, and we're going to leave it off here until next time. No Sunday Scaries next week. I'm going to be out of town, but then after that, we'll see. And I may try and do another stream tomorrow because I have. It's Patriots Day. Hooray! So what I'm thinking of doing, I might do that one on another platform, but I kind of want to play Wander Stop, a game about the importance of work-life balance and also making tea. Yeah, I know. As my wife's laughter floats in from through the other room. But anyway, yes. So keep an eye out for that tomorrow. I have 2 streams I want to do. One is for Wander Stop, and the other one is for UFO 50. The UFO 50 one is a little bit more Sunday Scaries in line because it's about the kind of secret games within the games in that game that are a little bit cursed and spooky. But time will tell on that. Anyway, for now, thank you so much to everybody who tuned in live. So thank you to Leah, thank you to Mary Sushi, thank you to Artemisia, and thank you to anybody who watches the VOD later. As always, a thank you to Hana Pengu, even though they couldn't make it tonight. And until next time. Oh, wait, let me get my ending. Where's my ending? There it is. Until next time, good night out there, whatever you are.